Here I'm taking a look at an installation we just completed. Jeanneau Leader 9.0 walk around. So here we're just going to look at the different things that we want to do getting on the boat. So under this hatch right here, where we're going to have our battery setup, pump setup, and all of our charging systems. So we have our battery back over here. This panel is all relating to our system. So we have a DC to DC charger to take from each engine alternator. We have a fuse for each DC to DC charger. We have our battery charger. We have 2 more fuses for the DC to DC chargers. We have the breaker for the unit, and we have the fuse for the shunt. So here we have a Victron system on this one, and we'll look at the functionality of that. So first thing I'm going to do over here is we're going to check this valve. So here would be the closed position. Here is in the open position. This right here is the bleeding system. So all we'd have to do is flip this open, make sure we get any air that could be in the system, close it back up again. This right here is the fuse for the pump. Here's the strainer. So this strainer, we just want to regularly check it and just make sure that it's clean. Here we have our pump, and we're going to go inside and take a look at the AC unit now. So going into the cabin over here, our display against this wall right here. So here we're showing right now that it's 78 degrees in the boat. My set temperature, I'm going to set it to 70 degrees, and I'm just going to hit this button on the top. So it just turned blue. That means that this is on. Here we have a snowflake, so we're in cool mode. Here's the fan speed option. So we can adjust the fan speed. I typically just leave it set to auto. If you have any alarms, this button here will start flashing. It'll show an alarm right here. Here we don't have any alarms going on right now. And then for our menu over here, we can select between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Go back over here. We have our unit back behind over here. 7,000 BTU 12-volt unit. We have one vent over here in the aft cabin. And we have a secondary vent here up forward. These vents both need to be maintained open. If we close one vent, we're going to restrict airflow, and we're going to freeze up the AC unit. So both vents need to be maintained open. So coming out over here, what we want to do when the AC unit is running is we're going to want to look overboard. And you'll see that we have 2 through holes side by side. We have one through hole that's pumping out water right over there, and so that's going to be the AC discharge. Right next to it we have a secondary through hole that's not pumping out any water right now. That's for the sump pump. So that's for the condensation. That way we're not putting condensation in the bilge. If we look over here at the Victron display, this is the one at the helm that we can view. Under this floor here, we have our sump pump. So if I just lift this up and tilt, so with the water heater, we have our sump pump right over here, and then I have my fuse for my sump pump right over here. So this sump pump is taking the condensation water from the unit. It'll fill up in this tank. When this tank gets to a certain level, this pump will activate and discharge it overboard in that through hole that I was showing outside. have the engines down in the water, so what we're going to do is we'll do our little test of looking at the M draw. Now that I have my battery switches on, we're going to turn on the engines. We do the bezel view to kick back on so we can see what kind of RPMs we're looking at. You can see that here the DC to Ds have started to engage. So I'm right now at a positive state of charge. I'm putting 7 amps, 5 amps back into the battery, so the AC is running, and I'm actually putting power back into the battery. Here we're running right now at 600 RPM, so we're sitting at idle. So here you'll see things like this. It'll drop back down a little bit. It'll come back up, so it's the DC to DC learning what it can and can't take from the batteries. If I come here and go to Victron Connect, this is available on the App Store and the Google Play Store. So you're going to look for this Smart BMV, so it's the battery monitor. The default setting on this is zeros. We keep that as standard at 6 zeros. That can be changed by the customer. So here it's going to ask me if I want to change the password. I don't want to. And so this is just the interface. So you can view this from in the cabin. You can view this from outside. It's a pretty user-friendly interface. So I just want to show that we do have the Bluetooth capability.